Chemical kinetics, it is our topic, boys of class 12, R.K. Mission Vidyapit. You know that study of chemical reactions means their speed. We are going to study the speed of chemical reactions. First of all, you see the speed of chemical reaction. This in our language, in the language of chemistry, it is known as rate of chemical reaction. So what we say that what is speed, that is called rate of chemical reaction. Now here you see that rate of chemical reaction means how does a chemical reaction, at what speed the chemical reaction is occurring. First of all, you see that there are many reactions which are very instantaneous, very, very fast. There are some reactions which occur at a moderate rate, and there are some reactions like carbonization of coal, conversion of graphite to diamond. These reactions are very, very slow. They occur over years after years, very long time. Now, regarding rate of chemical reaction, we must know that in a chemical reaction, there is a conversion of reactant to product. Reactants are converted into products. This is a simple representation of a chemical reaction. What happens during chemical reaction? The concentration of reactant decreases with the pass of time, and the concentration of product increases with the pass of time. Now see, you can just draw a graph, that is time versus concentration. Concentration means molar concentration. Okay. Initially, you have only reactant, and the concentration of the reactant, initial concentration, that initial concentration of the reactant is taken as R naught. This is the initial concentration of the reactant. Now see, as the reaction occurs, progresses, the concentration of the reactant falls gradually, and the concentration of product at the same time increases gradually. So this is the curve of product, concentration of product, and this is the curve of concentration of the reactant. So look at this graph, concentration versus time graph. When time is 0, that is the initial concentration of the reactant which we have taken. Now with the pass of time, with the progress of the reaction, the concentration of the reactant keeps on decreasing, and the concentration of the product keeps on increasing. This is a very simple thing. Now what happens if you want to find out the rate? Rate means decrease in concentration of the reactant per unit time. So here you write that rate equals to decrease in concentration of reactant per unit time. This is, or you can say that during the occurrence of a reaction, the concentration of product increases. So you can also define the rate of a reaction in terms of concentration of the product. The definition will be the rate of the reaction is increase in concentration of any product, because there can be more than one product in a reaction. Increase in concentration of product per unit time. This is in terms of product. Remember, here you can write the decrease in concentration of any reactant per unit time, or increase in concentration of any product per unit time. I have not written it, you can understand it. Now see, concentration of product increases, and concentration of product increases with the pass of time, and concentration of reactant decreases with the pass of time. Now supposing we are going to find out the rate, the initial concentration is R naught. After time, say we are taking 2 times, this is time T1 and this is time T2. Now at time T1, the concentration of the reactant is R1, and concentration of reactant at time T2, this concentration is R2. So obviously R2 is smaller than R1. So what is the decrease? Decrease in concentration, I am writing decrease in concentration of reactant equals to R1 minus R2. Decrease in concentration of the reactant is R1 minus R2, and the total time taken during this decrease is T2 minus T1. This is the time taken. Now this much is decreased over this time. This is the rate of the reaction. We are writing in this way. We are taking minus sign common. So minus of R2 minus R1 by T2 minus T1. We are doing it because we want to write in the form of change. That is change in concentration of the reactant. Change in concentration of the reactant means final concentration minus initial concentration. That's why we have written R2 minus R1. But here it is R1 minus R2. So we have done it. Change in concentration of the reactant, that is delta. Delta means change in concentration of the reactant, delta R by delta T. Delta R by delta T, this is the change in concentration of the reactant. Now see, this is in terms of a reactant. In terms of product, if you write, at time T1, the concentration of product is here, that is P1. At time T2, the concentration of product is P2 here. You know that P2 is greater than P1. Therefore, the increase in concentration of the product will be P2 minus P1. Increase in concentration of the product. At time T1, the concentration of the product, this is the graph of the product graph. Concentration of the product at time T1 is P1. At time T2, the concentration of product is P2. Okay, you can draw it here. So the increase in concentration of product, that is P2 minus P1, and the time taken is T2 minus T1. So in terms of change, here is no problem because it is final minus initial already is there, not like this, it is already final minus initial. So you can write delta P by delta T. So this is the symbol of rate. Rate in terms of reactant is minus delta R by delta T, and rate in terms of product is delta P by delta T. The difference is here is a negative sign, here is no such negative sign. So this is the first thing. Now we see that this rate, what we are measuring, this rate we are measuring over a period of time. Such a rate, when it is measured over a period of time, the rate is known as average rate. Therefore, this rate, what we say, this rate is called average rate average, RAV, average rate. Now, this is the expression of average rate. Average rate in terms of reactant is this, average rate in terms of product is this. Now, the question is, this rate is not much useful for the chemistry learners, or of course you can say for the chemist, this rate is not so much useful. What is useful? Useful is instantaneous rate of the reaction at a particular moment of time, that is instantaneous rate. Because you know that with the fall in concentration of the reactant, the rate of the reaction also decreases. That means rate is not a uniform quantity. Rate at the beginning is very, very high for all reactions, and rate at the end is very, very low for all reaction. That means what? As the concentration of the reactant is falling, the rate of the reaction will also be falling, because rate is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactant. That's why with the pass of time, as the concentration of reactant decreases, the rate of the reaction also decreases. So whenever you are finding the average rate, you can have a picture about the speed of the reaction, but not exactly what is the rate of the reaction which is occurring at this particular moment of time. This picture can't be obtained from it. Therefore, the another rate is instantaneous rate. Rate instantaneous. This rate instantaneous, it is written in RINS, rate instantaneous. This rate is more useful for us. So rate instantaneous, how to find this? It can be measured from concentration versus time graph. It can be measured, instantaneous rate. What is the process? The process is, suppose at any point of time, at a particular moment, say at time t, look at this, at time t, we want to find out the instantaneous rate. What we do? We draw a tangent corresponding to, on the concentration versus time graph, corresponding to the time t. So what you have to do? You have to draw a tangent on the concentration versus time graph of the reactant or product. Both are possible, corresponding to this time. This is the tangent. We are drawing. Okay. Now, slope of this tangent, if you find the slope, that will give us the value of instantaneous rate. Therefore, instantaneous rate equals to slope of the tangent. Drawn on the concentration versus time graph at a point corresponding to the time at which we are finding. Now this is the tangent and this is the slope. So this is a very small change in concentration of the reactant, in a very small change in time. So the slope can be written in this way, very small change. This negative slope, because tangent, you see the tangent is like this, and if you take the tangent here on the product graph, it will be a positive slope. So this is negative slope, that's why it is minus dr by dt. So this is instantaneous rate. Instantaneous rate equals to minus dr by dt. Or average rate equals to minus delta r by delta t. This is the difference. This is in the language of calculus, minus dr by dt. Because at any particular moment of time, there will be a very small change in concentration of the reactant and in a very small change in time. That's why it is minus dr by dt. In terms of product, rate instantaneous in terms of product will be dp by dt in terms of product. And in terms of reactant, rate instantaneous equals to minus dr by dt. So you have understood how to find instantaneous rate. Instantaneous rate can be calculated from the concentration versus time graph of reactant or product. What is the process? By drawing a tangent at the point on the graph corresponding to the time at which we are finding the instantaneous rate, and the slope of the tangent, that is equal to instantaneous rate. Now, after knowing these two things, we are going to chemical reactions. What happens in a chemical reaction? Chemical reaction, you know that in every chemical reaction there can be one or more reactants and there can be one or more products. Let us take an example of chemical reaction. That is very simple example, N2 plus 3H2. This is 2 ammonia. So formation of ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen. This is a chemical reaction. with proper stoichiometries. Now you see what I am telling, that this one, nitrogen is consumed during the reaction, hydrogen is consumed during the reaction, ammonia is formed during the reaction. So we can say the rate of the reaction, because see, if you take the ratio, it is 1 mole, it is 3 mole, and it is 2 mole. 2 mole. This is the ratio. Same ratio will be in their concentration terms. That means the time at which 1 mole nitrogen is consumed, in the same time 3 moles hydrogen will be consumed according to the ratio, and at the same time 2 moles ammonia will be formed. 2 moles ammonia will be formed. So it is clear now. Simply it is, this ratio is telling us this. Concentration will also be consumed accordingly. Concentration will be produced accordingly, according to this stoichiometric ratio. Now, this one, 1 mole nitrogen, 3 mole hydrogen and 2 mole ammonia. Rate of the reaction, rate of this reaction will purely depend upon the concentration, change of concentration or rate of consumption of nitrogen, because it is occurring at the slowest rate. Slowest rate means when 1 mole nitrogen is consumed, then 3 mole hydrogen is consumed. At the same time 2 mole ammonia is formed. So what is the slowest rate? The slowest rate is nitrogen, rate of consumption of nitrogen. So rate of the reaction, this is rate of the reaction equals to rate of consumption of nitrogen. Remember this one, rate of consumption of nitrogen. But now with the rate of consumption of nitrogen, we can find out a relation between these two and between these two. What is the relation? See here, when 1 mole nitrogen is consumed, 3 mole hydrogen is consumed. So the rate of consumption of hydrogen, consumption of hydrogen, see what I am writing, equals to 3 times of rate of consumption of nitrogen. It is clear? 3 times of rate of consumption of nitrogen. This relation we are getting from the reaction itself. Now this is number 1. And at the same time, rate of formation of ammonia, ammonia, it is 2 times of rate of consumption of nitrogen, of nitrogen. It is 2 times. Now try to understand it. Rate of the reaction is directly equal to rate of consumption of nitrogen, because it is consumed in the slowest rate. Now rate of consumption of hydrogen equals to 3 times of rate of consumption of nitrogen, and rate of formation of ammonia is 2 times of rate of consumption of nitrogen. Now from this you can write that rate of consumption of nitrogen equals to 1 by 3 into rate of consumption of hydrogen, and rate of consumption of nitrogen. From here you will get rate of consumption of nitrogen. This is equal to 1 by 2 into rate of formation of ammonia, Now from this relation we can connect it with the rate of the reaction. Therefore rate of the reaction equals to rate of consumption of nitrogen. Now rate of consumption of nitrogen equals to 1 by 3 into rate of consumption of hydrogen. Therefore continue it, 1 by 3 into rate of consumption rate of consumption of hydrogen, this is equal to 1 by 2 into rate of formation of ammonia, because this thing is consumption of nitrogen. This is equal to 1 by 2 into rate of formation of ammonia, NH3. Now we are getting a complete relation. That rate equals to rate of consumption of nitrogen. Here rate means rate of the reaction. This is equal to rate of consumption of nitrogen. This is equal to 1 by 3 into rate of consumption of hydrogen. This is equal to 1 by 2 into rate of formation of ammonia. So from any reaction we can derive this relation. So rate of the reaction, this is equal to in terms of rate of consumption of nitrogen, in terms of rate of consumption of hydrogen, in terms of rate of formation of ammonia. Similarly, what do we see? That this stoichiometric coefficient is just one is necessary to be reciprocal. It is 3, we are writing 1 by 3. It is 2, we are writing 1 by 2. It is 1, we are writing nothing. So this method you can follow. For any reaction, you just make the reciprocal of the stoichiometric coefficient of the corresponding term. That is, whether it is rate of consumption of hydrogen or rate of formation of ammonia, just before it. Okay? Now we shall discuss it with you regarding any doubt.